right, we might get started nice and on time. We have Ido from Dragontail Systems, who's just closed what I think is a pretty incredible deal, particularly in this environment, which is a testament to the technology and management, which I'm sure you'll go into more detail, Ido. But throughout the presentation, if there are questions, just type them through and we'll answer them at the end. We've already got a few that have been submitted already on email, but Ido, I'll pass it over to you and get started.
Okay, hi everybody. My name is Ido Levanon. I'm the co-founder and currently general manager of GM of Dragontail Systems. Look, I've got about 20-25 minutes, so it's going to be a little bit challenging to try to cover a technology that was developed over 7 years, the most unique technology in the food delivery industry. It's challenging to cover it in a short period of time, so I'll go to things very fast. However, I understand that this whole presentation is going to be posted and lodged, and you'll have an access to this whole presentation and all those slides that I'm going to run through, and you can refer to it later. So I'm going to talk about the technology, then I'm going to talk about what we've accomplished so far, and then where we are going from here, which is all exciting, especially now that we closed our latest funding during those challenging times. And then a little bit about investment highlights and so on and so forth. So Dragontail System was created to basically give a technology solution to the fast-growing food delivery industry. We all know, I guess I don't need to convince you, but this is one of the fastest growing segments. And honestly, with those recent developments and what we are all facing now with the coronavirus, and most of us are watching it from home and working from home, and one thing that is clear to everybody is that food delivery is not just growing, it's going to get a major boost from the situation we're facing. Many families that never ordered food to their house are start doing it now. And so buying habits are being changed. The whole world is being changed, hopefully for the better. And so we developed a technology that basically addressed most of the challenges that every restaurant is facing, including increase in labor costs, difficulty finding drivers, mistake in preparation, long delivery time, food waste, and so on and so forth. We did it by developing two main flagship products that I'll briefly present to you right now. They are, the first one is called the Algo dispatching system, which is an optimization system of the entire restaurant operation. And the second one is an artificial intelligent camera that oversees the operation of the restaurant. So if you look at a typical restaurant, you will see when they use our system that in the kitchen, we have a special make or kitchen display system that's very unique, and I'll explain to you what it does in a second. We also have the camera, which is our second flagship product that sits on top of the preparation table or outside the oven or where they pack the food. We have a pack station, we have a dispatch station, that's the heart of the system where it monitors where the drivers, what's the status of the food, where are the customer located, and so on and so forth. You then have the drivers with a unique mobile app that we developed that we can communicate with the drivers, and our system can communicate with the drivers. And then you have the customer, which is number 7 on the screen. They're outside the store. They're the consumer that with using our systems, they are able to fully control and get an updated information, real-time information on what's going on with their orders. And that's how they kept engaged. And then there are the manager, the store manager, the franchisee, the owner of the brand that have a unique access to a special business intelligence information, and they know exactly what's going on in those stores. So the Algo dispatching system, like I said, is it's all start in the kitchen. So this is our KDS, or kitchen display system. Now, look, let's be honest here, and some of you are quite sophisticated investors. You know that almost every restaurant has some sort of a make screen, okay? But nobody, and that's, I want to emphasize it, nobody has an artificial intelligence smart make screen. All the make screen or the kitchen preparation screen are working first in, first out. They're showing the order as they come. We are the only company that start the optimization before it even shows in the kitchen. And the smartness of the technology is in the kitchen. There are a lot of last mile solution companies that do an optimization of delivery. But let's not forget, we are looking at food delivery. And you come to eat at a restaurant because of their kitchen, not because they have a great delivery system. It's all start in the food and the food preparation. And we are the only company, and I emphasize it, when we talk about the investment highlight, there is no company in the world that does what we're doing. And like I said, it's all start in the kitchen, and we control everything, not just the delivery, also the takeaway and sit down customer. There is a pack station, a dispatch station that you can see on the screen. The store manager or shift manager can see all the orders, all the customers' order, where are they located, and on the left side, it actually makes recommendation of which driver to take which order, whether it's one delivery or two or three at the same route. And that is again connected to the kitchen. It's not just based on driver locations and customer location, but also what happens in the back end. Now, I'm going to emphasize here a recent development and announcement we did several months ago, where our dispatch screen or our complete system is now not just handling the drivers of the restaurants, but also third-party drivers. Many of you, as investors, were asking us in the last year or two, what are you guys going to do that there are more and more aggregators like Uber Eats and DoorDash and all those guys, they're coming in using their own drivers. And at the beginning, honestly, we only concentrated on operation, let's say like Pizza Hut or Dominos, that use their own drivers. So what we have developed very successfully recently, and it's already showing an amazing result, is the connection with the aggregator. So now a restaurant, like you can see here in the middle of the screen, they can see their own drivers, but they can see also the third-party drivers. And we optimize in such a way that you utilize your own driver as much as you can, but when needed, when you don't have enough drivers, it automatically dispatch third-party drivers. Major achievement, major new development that we worked very hard on, and we just launched it in the US, and we also rolling it now in Singapore, and it's also getting into Australia. We mentioned it in the recent announcement how DoorDash is about to start working with Pizza Hut Australia. And we starting with Stuart, it's another aggregator in the UK. This combination with the aggregators already showing amazing results. This is just the first store we went live in the US. Without going into details, the delivery went down significantly. The hot and fresh, how hot the food when it arrives to the customer went up. And they save, look at this 16% saving on labor cost. So the restaurant, even though they use third-party drivers and they pay per delivery, when you combine your own drivers with third-party, you actually even save money on labor cost. The aggregators themselves also have a lot of benefits that I cannot share right now because it's confidential information, but imagine when their drivers come to pick up the food, they don't have to wait for the food anymore, sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes, because we control the kitchen. We're never gonna have a driver come to a store when there is no meal ready for them to pick up. Like I said, the driver have their own mobile app. The customer can be engaged and see exactly what's happening from the moment they place the order until the order arrives to their house. And then there is this all a business intelligence model that by itself is a game-changing technology which enables the restaurant owners to operate more effectively. It has many other reports that I won't go into. The second product that I mentioned is the quality control camera. These cameras, which I elaborate more in a second, basically enable you as the owner or the operator to make sure that the meal that you prepare is actually the right meal that the customer ordered and the quality is there. And so you're all familiar, I assume, with Domino's pizza checker. So this was our development, and there are more and more applications to the camera, which we'll discuss soon. So what we've accomplished so far, I mean, we're talking about the technology, and many startups, let's say, or technology companies have great ideas, and maybe they even have good products, but can they scale? Is it accepted by the customer? Does it show the benefits? So let's go to this. Let's start with what happened about a year ago, or the beginning of last year, 2019. We were installing 262 locations. That's it. So what have we accomplished as a relatively small company, only 50 some people, and only raised at that point $18 million? What have we accomplished in the last year? So we started actually in Canada with Pizza Hut. That was our first major customer. And that customer immediately noticed some amazing results. This is, I'm not sharing the full presentation of the customer because of confidentiality. However, I'm sharing with you some of the titles of their slide. OSAT stands for overall satisfaction. The overall satisfaction of their customer went up. They also mentioned that customers are saying they get their food faster. They are making less mistake in preparation. And the most important thing that we have seen in Canada is that the repeat customer business kept growing. Why is it growing? Because with our system, you get the food always hot and fresh, you get it faster, and the customer can fully track what's going on. And that's by doing that, the customer come back to the restaurant and reorder. Look at this. Just before we were about to move on away from Canada, we had the second customer, and they are the largest QSR in Canada. It's called Receipt. You can look at them online, a publicly held Canadian company, 1,500 locations. They came to us. By the way, I'm going to emphasize it throughout the presentation. Dragontail, as of today, has no sales force, no salesman, no saleswoman, no marketing, no PR. Everything that you are about to see that we accomplished in the last year was an incoming business, because we have that technology that actually makes a difference. So as we leave Canada, remember, the two largest customers are already working with us. We then moved to Singapore with Pizza Hut Singapore, and they have shown amazing results as well. You can see on this chart the increase in the number of, or the percentage of orders that are delivered under 30 minutes. A major increase over the first year, but also a major increase in hot and fresh, meaning what percentage of the orders that arrive to the customers are arrived within 20 minutes from the minute the order was prepared. And again, we can offer it because we control the kitchen, we control the packing, we can control the dispatch, and by connecting it all, we make sure that even if you get your order after even an hour, it's still hot and fresh. From Singapore, we moved close to home to most of you, which is in Australia, and we started working with Domino's. And as you know, Domino's came up with a big campaign, and it's a big game changer for them and for the entire industry. They came up with the pizza checker, which is our development, and it looks like that. It's a camera that sits on top of the pack station. It checks for mistake in preparation, that they didn't miss the topping, that the topping are distributed correctly, temperature, crust type, and so many other things. And they have a special dashboard, as you can see here with the Dominos and Dragontail logo, that actually give them a score on every pizza. It's also an excellent training tool for their staff. And again, nobody ever was able to develop such an artificial intelligent camera that within 2 seconds from the moment the pizza is out of the oven until it's cut and packed, recognize all the topic, above the cheese, below the cheese, the quality of the cheese, the quality of the crust. It connects to the point of sale to get the detail of what the customer order, compare against it. And then, by the way, here you see one of the Dominos store with the pack screen on the left side. Notice our camera can recognize even 2 or 3 pizzas at the same time. And then the customer on their mobile app can actually see a picture of their pizza. Amazing technology. Here is an article that, again, you can search online. There were several, where Nick Knight, the CEO of Dominos in Australia, was reporting, again, amazing results from the get-go. Already in the first month, 15% increase in customer score on food quality, and so many other things. Look, Domino's even changed their pizza boxes to promote that amazing game-changing technology. In Australia, we didn't just ended up with Domino's, but also with Pizza Hut. Remember the Canada story? As we were moving away from Canada, and we obviously still operate in Canada, we already secured the 2 largest customers. The same is happening here, close to home in Australia, with the 2 largest, let's say, very competitive companies. And look, for Dragontail to be able, I don't know of any technology company that are able to secure business with competitive customers, okay? And we do it in a professional way. We keep each other's IP. And then again, this is just example of what we accomplished in the last 12 months, and we didn't finish there because we moved immediately to Europe and we launched there with Pizza Hut in the UK. Now, Pizza Hut UK oversees the entire Pizza Hut operation in Europe. They also immediately seen results, great result, improvement in overall satisfaction, speed of service, taste of food. All of it was done within the first few weeks. And the great things about Pizza Hut UK is as we move on from customer to customer, as we increase our install base, the time lag from the moment we send the contract until we roll out is becoming smaller and smaller. It used to take about a year, and I know some investors said, why does it take so much time? Well, guys and ladies, this is a game-changing technology. It's true business disruptive technology. It makes a huge difference in the operation. So sometimes the large customer, it takes time for them to adjust and to embrace the technology. But as we prove how great the results are, things are changing. And so the UK, we signed the agreement in December, and already right now, we over 300 stores installed. So we're looking at about less than 3 months, and we signed the agreement, integrated, and already rolling out. And just announced last month, the next step into Europe is Belgium, because they have seen the results of Pizza Hut UK, and they approach us, and we just signed the agreement with them. So if we just pause for a second, you remember how we started the year with 262 locations. If you look at the growth quarter to quarter in the install base, we ended up finishing the year or the last quarter with almost 10-fold increase over what we started. To my opinion, 2019 was the best year we had, at least even for us, the management. We knew that this technology that we're developing is needed, but we didn't know if we will be able to develop it. It's very sophisticated. We didn't know if the customer, how quickly the customer gonna see the results. And then you and us were always asking, can you scale? And will your cost go up as you scale? And look what we have proven in 2019. We went up from 200 some stores to 2,000. Our cost not just didn't go up, our cost went down. We have almost zero downtime. Our key customers, all our customers are extremely happy and keep coming to us to increase their install base. And that is 2019 in a nutshell. And so let's see where we're going from here. So far, as I mentioned, we raised about 18 million, and then we took loans for about 5 million, altogether about 23 million. I'm talking US dollar, okay? Because our financial in USD. And we've done all of what you've seen with that amount of money. We developed 2 flagship products that we were able to scale up and prove to you, to the customer, and to ourselves that we can do it. And now we are ready to really get serious because we have a proven technology. We have the backup of the key customers in the industry. And we just announced that we raised another 90 some million Australian. So with that raise, we will end up at about 30 million US. After we pay off the debt, we'll be debt-free, and a total raise of 29.5. So what are we doing with this money? And again, I'll go very fast because I know we're short on time. One of the things you already know, we're getting into the US. Look, we didn't enjoy going into Canada, going into Singapore, going to Australia, we're going to Europe. A small company of 50 people is already installed almost in every continent except Antarctica. And it's not like we did it by choice. We went where the customer took us. But now that we have it all proven, we are moving into the US. We're going to go after some large customer. We're also going to go out after mid-size and small chain using our 2 flagship products and also what we call a total technology solution, which I'm about to explain. And we're going to do all of it by hiring, for the first time ever in our 7 years existing, a true sales and marketing team. At the same time, we're going to start, or going to continue, I should say, increase our install base. Look at what happens to our contracted store. And I know many of you were asking during 2019, what's going on? How come your contracted stores are not going up? And we kept saying, don't worry about it. When you work with large customers, they are very demanding, they are very strict. I'm not familiar with many technology companies that are even attempt to address those large customers, and it takes time. But even now, during the challenging times the whole world is going through, and you and us, we just announced this morning, and mark my word, this is just the beginning. This contracted store that you're seeing right now is based on what already was announced, and even during those challenging times, we get more customers that we've been working with in more markets that are eager now to move faster with our technology. And so this is what we are about to face, the increase of install base, servicing the contracted stores and going into the US. And we are doing it also with an added technology. You remember the camera I told you about? This was an out-of-oven camera or a pack station camera. This camera is already being enhanced to work on a make line, or where you prepare the food. And here you see it in example of a pizza. But it's not just going to be pizza. It's going to be in buffet environment. And again, we haven't announced anything officially, so I cannot elaborate, but you can imagine the US customers that obviously already talking to us, that servicing, let's say, universities, government facilities, and so many other places where they serve buffet-style food. We also have those cameras being able to detect missing items. Every restaurant in the world, whether it's pizza, chicken, Chinese, whatever, whether it's delivery or takeaway or drive-through, one of the biggest challenges, there are missing items. They even forget the napkin, the ketchup, or the drinks. All of it's going to be detected automatically by our state-of-the-art camera. It's even applied in hotel environment, or can be applied, room service, and so many other places. We're also offering what I mentioned, total technology. Again, I'm just going to address it within a minute. Imagine, so far, we offer the Algo and the camera. We have so many customers coming to us, and they say, look, you're already doing most of the work that the point of sale is doing. Why can't you provide us everything? And so not just the online ordering, the point of sale, the Algo, the camera, now we can also connect them to delivery services, to the agreements that we have, for example, with DoorDash, Postmates, Stuart in Europe, Kingshan in Asia. And so the customers that are going to select our total technology will benefit in a way that they're going to have one-stop shop turnkey solution. It will include the online ordering, it will include the point of sale, it will include obviously the brain of the system, which is the Algo kitchen, the Algo dispatching, so many other features that I didn't mention, and again, you'll be able to see it, but we have the ability to share driver between store. We have a VIP model that we charge extra for, that enable customer to pay extra and get their order faster. And now that we are connected with third-party drivers, we also be able to offer those customers the ability to not even to use their own driver, but to utilize third-party driver. So imagine, and obviously we have the camera, and all of it is done with a company called Dragontail that now has the background and the stamp of approval from the largest players in the industry. And with total technology, and we already have in few stores installed in Canada and in the US. We are now going, we just recently announced the first customer in Perth. And this is all without sales and marketing. This is all customer asking for, coming to us, asking for it. And now we are, with the sales force that we are building, mostly in the US, we're gonna go after the mom and pop and the small chain, be able to increase our average per store from $100 to more like a $500 and even more using all those offerings. I know I have 1 minute, so basically investment highlights, and again, we have it all posted online and you can read about it. Market leading technology. As of today, 7 years in business, we have no customer that was able to develop it and no competitor that was able to develop anything close to what we've done. Global recognition, like I mentioned, we are in 5 different continents, only hearing great things from customers, and actually customers start handing us some of their location that they use different technology or different companies because they realize only Dragontail can offer the complete solution. We are growing, as you see, 10-fold increase last year, and we keep developing some unique technology, as I just briefly mentioned here. This is, I'll finish with it and I'm ready to answer question, and I'll keep that slide on. You can see our market cap. Again, we believe, this is just my personal opinion, we are right now at a point that we are probably the best position we ever been, with the customer coming to us, almost begging to move fast and install. And now with the latest funding, thanks to the US funds and LC in Australia, we are now able to finally move to the next phase, get the sales and marketing going, and get our business exploding in a great way.
Great. Thanks so much, Ido. I don't think this will kick us out at with 30 seconds left. So if it does, my sincere apologies to everyone and thanks very much for joining. But we'll get to the first question. Feedback from Dominos has been very positive on the camera. When are we likely to see an international rollout of the camera with Dominos? Any other QSR players using the camera?
Okay, so good question. So regarding the Dominos camera, look, Dominos has exclusivity in their 8 markets, okay? And so we are not going to offer it to other pizza customers in their markets, okay? And as Dominos indicated in their investor material, the next market is Japan and then other markets. But as I mentioned, our camera now is getting a different twist. It's not just a pack station camera, it's also so in other words, this camera evolved. We already, I can say there is a major interest for many other customers and non-pizza customers, because if we are able to detect a pizza within 2 seconds and all the topping on the pizza, you can imagine what this camera can do. For customer, I'm just throwing as an example, don't quote me, 7-Eleven, for example, they do deliveries. Imagine that that camera can recognize everything that goes into the bag before it's being shipped to make sure that nothing is missing. So big plans with the camera for sure.
The next question, Ido, is I love the pizza checker, but how will the company penetrate very large QSRs like Taco Bell?
Okay, so we're already working with Yum, and you can see just by the contracted stores, I mean, within Yum, it's thousands of stores. We currently do not work with Taco Bell. We work with Pizza Hut and KFC with this brand. Taco Bell only recently started delivery using third-party drivers. So Taco Bell specifically is not on the roadmap right now, but we have more than we can chew anyway when it comes to large customers, and more to be announced. One more was announced this morning, and just stay tuned in the next few days or few weeks.
Great. And the next question, just to share it around, I noticed quite a few times when ordering pizza here in Australia that the pizza checker doesn't display sometimes. How do you ensure the consistency of the pizza checker so that it rarely fails?
Okay, so what it does, look, the picture to the customer, the pizza checker will be sent only when there is 100% match. In other words, only when the system absolutely sure that that pizza belongs to that customer is when the picture will be sent. We don't want to send the wrong picture to, to the customer. But remember, it's a machine learning, and also the stores themselves are getting used to do a better job. And so with time, that matching percentage goes up. It may be that you don't get the picture of the pizza, but one thing for sure, the quality of the pizzas and the mistaken preparation is down significantly. That was one of the biggest challenges of Domino's a few years ago, and we addressed that challenge with that camera.
Great. The final question, when do we expect to see the marketing and sales teams formed?
So we already had them, some on standby. We had a recruitment firm hired, and it's not just the sales and salespeople in the US. We also have a PR company, a marketing company. Imagine the power that Dragontail can do with the right advertising. And again, let's just focus on the US, because nobody heard about Dragontail. Remember, we never actively went after customer. They came to us. But now when we go after customer, and people will see that we can give them, especially all the restaurants right now, and I'll finish with that, that understand, especially during this coronavirus game-changing environment, that they need to be the delivery business. Most restaurants are still don't deliver. And those who deliver maybe 5% or maybe even less. And now they understand that the world is changing. They need to be able to deliver more, maybe 20, 40, 50% of their business. How are they going to do it? Dragontail is the solution, because now we're bringing them the total solution with the point of sale, with the camera, with the algo, and with the aggregators. And it's a turnkey solution. So with the right marketing, with the right, we're building a sales force that also going to activate value-added resellers or resellers and go into their network and be able to offer this total technology for great price and technology that doesn't exist anywhere else. No other point of sale or any technology company offer solution from the kitchen all the way to the customers.
Just one final question that we had emailed, and I don't want to miss it. It was, when does the company expect to break even, given not too much interruptions or delays by the impacts of the coronavirus?
I've seen this question, correct, and that's a fair question. I've been asked it all along. Okay, look, it's no secret that, I personally wonder, how come 2019, to my opinion, was the best year? It was better than we expected, yet our share price, it used to be 30-some cents, ended up at, at around 10 cents. And to us, it was an oxymoron. We didn't understand that. And I think one of the reasons is because investor expected, and rightly so, that we should be already at, I don't know, 5,000 location and already breaking even. If we put everything in perspective, we spend the first 5-6 years to perfect the technology to make sure that we don't just develop something that customers install and then take it off. We don't have one customer that said, we don't like this technology, we don't need it anymore. Never happened. And I don't think it will ever happen because look at the results that they're reporting. But we moved carefully. We are working with the largest customer. We couldn't mess it up. But now we're ready to expand and explore. So answering the question, I would say by the end of the year, again, assuming no big changes, about 5,000 locations installed, we should be breaking even, maybe slightly more. So at end of this year or the beginning of 2021.
Awesome. Thanks so much. You've covered about an hour and 10 minutes of a presentation, Ido, into half an hour, which is quite the effort. Obviously, this will be released and the recording will be distributed later. So people can then watch it a little bit more carefully. But if there's any questions that we haven't answered, we'll do so on the emails. But thanks so much for making the effort, Ido, and have a great day.
Thanks everybody for joining.
Thanks everyone for joining. Thank you. Have a good night.